Do you guys ever like Zoom or FaceTime somebody without checking your appearance, and then suddenly you're confronted with your face and you're like, whoa,
bitch, look at me.
Look
at me.
I mean, you look great, honestly. I was
Thank you.
I actually FaceTimed recently with our guest today, and I guess I had just moisturized my face, but I didn't realize like quite how greasy I looked. And she was just like, are you okay? Like I was so greasy that she was worried about my health.
So that happens to me a lot. Zoom meetings are the first time I've looked in the mirror.
Totally.
And, it's not a wise move.
No, we're doing a lot of literal self-reflection in these times.
I know. Anosh, did you shave your beard?
I did.
Oh my God.
I just needed a clean start. Sometimes when you have a beard, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but after a while, you're just like, I need a fresh start. I need to get rid of all this. I assume there's stuff in there. It's been around for a while. Let's just wipe the slate clean.
Yeah, like a haircut.
Yes.
I feel that with a short haircut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's like creatures. Yeah, there's creatures that have different camp.
Yeah, there's different lengths and stuff, and you're just like, the whole thing's got to go.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it. We got to move. This apartment's done. You know?
Yes. Yes.
How does it feel? Has it changed your life? Do you feel like a new person?
It is more comfortable. As an Indian man, I have pine needles growing out of my face, so they kind of hurt. They wrap around and then stab you. It's nice to get rid of it.
You have in common with my family, the Greeks.
Yes, exactly. So yes. I've elected to lean a little more into the macadam, less into the Anosh facial hair wise.
Yes. Do you have a dog, or is that May?
That's a me. That's a me. A me issue.
That sounded like a Tilly. Tilly's grown her bark in quarantine.
Yeah.
We're all changed. The quarantine has changed us all. My dog has decided to become to live up to the reputation that small dogs have, of being yappy little brats. And I frankly, I support it.
She played the really long con game where she was like, I don't bark. I'm just cuddly and nice. I'm perfect. And then you're like, all right, I'll keep you. You're great. And then she's like,
I know.
That's like me, any of us in a relationship.
Yeah. I'm just like so chill. I'm just, I'm not like the other girls. I don't have emotions.
Week 2. Did you just think something mean about me?
Yeah.
I can see it in your eyebrows.
I know I have a podcast called Crazy in Bed, but actually I'm really only the fun kind of crazy in bed.
Yeah.
What a red flag
don't look up anything.
This podcast title is for the dating world.
I mean, honestly, truly, I like to tell people not to Google me, but I know people do.
Which is like, of course, if anyone ever told me don't Google me, I'd be like, okay, fire up Google immediately. What are they hiding?
Right.
Well, I just don't give any information that they could Google, like that they would be able to use to find, but they always find me. I don't know how they do it.
Well, the second you say you're a comedian, they're like, well, there's got to be stuff out there I can find out.
Totally.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone wants to see your like 10 minutes of stand-up that I did in 2013, and
that's always going to be the thing.
And they find it
first. No matter what I do in my life, it'll be like, I saw your set from the Creek in the Cave in 2009. I'm like, oh no.
That's how every family reunion starts now. It's just like some member of my family is like, I saw your stand-up.
You're like,
and I'm like, oh God.
No, it was a different time. I was using words that I shouldn't have been using. Just please, don't watch that.
Like it wasn't a different time, but it was.
It's like we also never upload those. It's always someone else who's uploaded it. So you can never like take it down. You're just like, all right, that's
Oh my God, truly. I did kind of a scrub at some point when I moved to LA, and I looked up because I just was so tired of people at family reunions and like parties. It's always people that know my parents, and you just like don't want them to be watching your worst stand-up clip.
I know.
But yeah, things are hard to remove.
I remember I had, not that this is the same thing, but May directed my solo show a while ago, and it was like about losing my dad, but it was like really, there were like parts of it that were really like sexually graphic, not including my dad. It just so happens I jumped themes a little. And
the girls got
I
range.
went to do
all the babies.
You had to be very clear with the transitions. I'm putting down the dad subject now, and we're talking about my sex life. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, exactly. And I like did a show in Boston, and my grandparents live like an hour or so away. And before, I want to say either minutes before or like as I walked on stage, they were there. And I just remember being like, well, you have to just lean in harder. I can't not. And so I did all these sex jokes in front of my like 90-year-old grandparents.
Oh my God. That's funny.
But all that matters is that you get laughs, right? In the moment, it's like more important than anything else.
That's true.
Totally. Because I think they don't even quite understand all of it. So I was, talking about like a vibrant, it's like, who knows? So it's like, they were just like, oh yeah, people were laughing. All right, that's good.
That being said, I don't know why, but my aunt and uncle came to see me do stand-up once, and I'm like, it traumatized me. It was a recorded set, so I had to do my strongest jokes, and of course they all involve like orgasm jokes, and
of course
female empowerment. And I remember like closing on this like really just, it wasn't like explicit, but it was just not what you want to do in front of your aunt and uncle, and like the looks in their eyes as they approached me after, and they were like, very funny. But it's like, it haunts me. I'm haunted by it. Every time I see my aunt, I'm still just like, oh God, if I could go back in time and just do like something different with my whole life.
Of course. No,
Why?
it doesn't. Yeah, I know.
Why did I do that? It's so hard to do clean comedy. It's really tough.
It's true. Yeah.
Especially, with stand up, it's just like, I remember there was a kid in the audience, and they were like, "Oh, there's a kid here. Just go clean." And I had to. I didn't have anything. It was like, because all my jokes were like dirty or about death, and I was like, I don't think this either will work. Yeah.
God, nothing ruins a stand-up show like a child.
I know, like a 12-year-old or like 10, where it's like, you know enough to like you would register what I'm saying.
Totally. And you don't want to be the one. It's like, they're going to learn, but why do I have to be the one
to burn this word in their memory?
To sit them down and be like, Santa Claus isn't real. and this is what the word "cum" means.
Just to be clear, when May and I say we have dirty material, we mean shit like the tooth fairy. Hey, loser, it's your mom. that was my big closer. So yeah, we don't want to do that in front of the children.
I can't wait till May has kids and she's like, all right, well, we have to talk about Santa Claus. He's not real. Also, this is what the word "cum" means. Just thought I'd group those two into one conversation. We'll just knock it out of the park in one afternoon.
I think yeah, pretty much. I think that works. Traumatize them quickly, then take them out to ice cream, and it'll rip off the
Amazing. Hey, have you guys tried these Koya drinks?
Oh, that was good.
Oh my God. I mean, if they're not a sponsor of the show, but if you guys are watching,
but they
please,
should.
They really
Is that
should.
chocolate banana?
Chocolate banana, plant-based protein that's not swimming in sugar like the other guys. Healthy, wholesome ingredients that actually taste good. Koya. At least that's how I think it's pronounced.
Koya, I'm so glad it's not swimming with sugar anymore. It was on such a long swim.
We were all so worried about you, Koya.
Thank God.
We were rooting for you, Koya.
We kept telling Koya it's not safe to swim with sugar. Yeah.
Get out of the pool. It's not safe.
You're gonna
it's high tide.
It's like the movie Jaws, but with sugar.
Oh my God, sugar can smell blood in the water from a mile away. Get out of the water.
It's killing the whole town. People are dying. No. Why are you the last one?
Oh my God, did that sugar just swim backwards? They can't do that. I've never seen that before.
Get in the boat. Get in the boat.
The sugar's getting smarter.
Oh no, the sugar's in the boat. The
Oh my God.
Our guest's here. Our guest is here.
Our guest
Okay.
is here. Let's
All
hear
right.
the lovely and amazing and hilarious Jasmine Pierce. Also, I think Jasmine.
Thank you.
Jasmine!
Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Look at this
It was
beauty.
great timing. We were about to hit minute 22 of a bad riff that was
Of a riff that only we could possibly find funny.
Where did it start and where did it end?
It started with this plant-based protein drink that I was consuming,
Okay, that seems like a normal thing to talk about.
and then it ended up as sugar as a shark attacking a boat. I don't know.
And then
Okay.
we reenacted the entire movie Jaws while laughing hysterically at ourselves. How is everyone's mental health? Mine is not good.
I think that was the answer, yeah.
Yeah, mine is not good. I've
Wait,
devolved.
I am Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I love your bed, Jasmine. Wow, look at that bed frame and
Oh.
everything.
Like,
That is
yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
I
Wow.
like that. Wow.
Not to brag.
Jasmine is our first, she does shop at IKEA. Jasmine is our first return guest, I think.
I think you're right.
What an
So,
honor.
Yes.
From the New York days.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
the good
Wow.
days when
Yes,
things
the
were
good
as they
days.
should be.
my God.
Hi,
which was
Jasmine. I'm
also-
Anosh, by the way.
Hi,
Nice
I'm
to meet
Jasmine.
Jasmine, one of our nearest and dearest New York friends. How are things going? How are you doing?
Oh, living. I am alive, so that is good.
Yep.
I'm doing. My cat's screaming, so there might be some of that. I'm doing as well as I think you can be given the circumstances, but I also cried for like 3 hours today, so
Yeah.
Oh, which is honestly
That's a New York day.
that's a normal day
Exactly.
for me.
It's
When
what
I'm-
I would have been doing today anyway. I just didn't have to put on pants.
Yeah, the rare morning cry. That's
Yes.
impressive.
Well,
Your priorities are good. You get the cry out of the way, and then you have the rest of the day.
It's the
Yes.
afternoon here, so it was a
Oh, yeah.
nice little afternoon, perfectly reasonable post lunchtime cry.
Okay.
I'm watching One Tree Hill,
Ooh.
and I don't know if any of you have seen it, but there's a particularly tragic, sad episode. Sorry, there's something. There's cat hair on me.
That'll do it.
the joy of being an
Yeah.
mom is you just constantly are eating
It's just
hair and you accept it.
Yeah. There's very sad episodes of One Tree Hill, and I'm watching the worst of them. So I cried through like 2 hours of show.
That's kind of nice to have a cry that's outside of yourself. I like those cries where it's like versus just like
I like to channel my cries through television because then it's like, I'm crying for them. I'm fine.
Yes.
I'm just sad about their life, which is sad. So that's healthy.
Totally. I remember like weeping to This Is Us when the dad died, and it's like, I'm crying because your fake dad died, not
mine.
This is fully empathy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm such an empath.
I feel so bad for you. God, your life is so hard. You have sort of a sweet quarantine situation, which I just keep telling people about, which is that your best friend, you're Alyssa. That's what I call best friends. Yeah, I call them all Alyssas.
I live alone, but my Alyssa lives in the apartment directly beneath me. So Taryn, yeah. So like, we've been like this since September, so it was already very cool that we lived in the same building but have like our own space. But now it's like a total godsend because I would be completely alone if she wasn't here. So yeah, we're very lucky.
Oh my God,
that's great.
And she's got her dog, and I've got my cat. Like we have like a sweet little Americana situation going on.
I smell a pilot.
It's true. Every time I FaceTime with you, I just feel like you're kind of like living your best quarantine life. Like you're always baking something. Taryn's always in the background, like working on her laptop. You're surrounded by adorable animals.
I mean, that is, yeah, on the best days, that is what it is, which is a lot. We do have like a lot of cooking, a lot of baking, a lot of television, a lot of weed smoking, and a lot of like long talks about what we talked about with our therapists. So
that's me and May's big gossip. It's never other people.
Yeah.
It's
like, what'd your therapist say? What did she say?
What'd she say? What's wrong
Did
with
she
us?
agree with me?
Well, hold on. I have a new one. I think we have a new disorder.
Yeah, I've diagnosed myself with like 3 new things since quarantine. So.
Oh my God, congrats.
Exciting.
Another thing isn't I know like hypochondria for medical disorders, is that a thing for mental health? Is there like
Sure, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same.
Now that I know it's a thing, I for sure have it. So it's a thing.
I feel like I have like parts of a lot of different things, but I know I don't fully have them.
You're an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur. You take a little from every disease.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that such a good feeling though, when you find out about a new disorder and you're just like, ugh, I'm not crazy. I have this is not my fault. And I fit into a box.
Yes.
I love how you're a hypochondriac about being a hypochondriac. It's amazing.
I have a few different kinds of hypochondria. I'm nervous. No.
Yeah.
I'm not like a medical hypochondriac at all, but for mental health, I have my DSM sitting on the edge of my couch. And I showed my therapist and she was like, I don't even have a DSM at the end of my couch.
I don't even have a DSM on the edge of my couch. I'm in awe.
I mean, it could have a normal place to go, but it's bigger than the other books. And I look at it and I'm just too lazy to put it away, which is a different mental health disorder, whatever that is.
You even have the old copies, the unrevised copies, DSM 1 through 4. Just in case they cut anything out that might apply to me. I want all the data.
They have changed stuff that I'm like, I like the old definition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their earlier work better. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
The four. Oh my God.
Love the 4.
I love the 4.
Was their heyday.
How people must feel when they talk about Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
Oh my God, truly the DSM is Harry Potter. Do you feel like the work that you've done on your mental health in quarantine imbalances like the negative effects of quarantine on your mental health?
I don't know that my mental health was any better before quarantine. It's just different. So I guess, some things are balancing and some things are not. Like my life is a lot less stressful in quarantine, but also I have a lot more like anxiety. I think that my brain's used to having a ton of anxiety and now it has nowhere to put it, which is kind of making me crazier, at least before.
Totally.
Be like, everybody at work hates me and like police it there. And now I'm just anxious.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, no, I'm like, my dog hates me. It's like, no.
Yeah. My cat's mad at me again. But that's true though. My cat is mad at me. I cut her nails. But yeah, that's
wow.
I know I'm brave. I feel crazy, but I always feel crazy. So it's actually, I think, done the opposite effect where I feel calmer because everyone feels crazy. Like I feel.
Totally.
So it's not like I want any of this to be happening. Obviously, the disease is bad. We all know that. But
yes,
we have that clarification every.
We do that every week.
Let's just make a statement. No one wants this. I would rather.
Nobody wants this. We love nurses. We love old people. We do not like the disease.
As May said last week, as a podcast, we are publicly anti-virus. We do not support the virus.
Yes.
We do not support the virus. Yes.
Vote no on virus.
On virus.
All of you. Wear your mask.
It does. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit calmer than usual because now I feel like everyone's panicking around the world. Before it just felt like I was alone sitting on my couch being like, why is the world so bad and no one's doing anything about it? And now everyone feels that way. So it's nice to feel like a sense of oneness in our separation, you know?
I feel that. True. The whole world all has an anxiety disorder now and recognizes like it's actually not a disorder. It's actually completely normal and healthy to be anxious. And people are worried. Somebody Oh, it was me. Sorry. I was about to quote myself.
Oh my god! Amazing.
May, that is the most beautifully May thing.
Real.
Oh my
Oh,
God. That's
really, you're your own
so
Michael
funny.
Scott.
Somebody was telling me this story. Wait, no, that was my life. It's incredible.
It's not my fault. It's the disorder. I have the disorder of being really insufferable. Which one is
So what did you tell yourself?
I was saying to somebody, I was discussing with somebody else how it is like we are in rehab as a world, like, and our addiction was like consumerism and capitalism and all of these, things that we thought we needed. And now we're like experiencing deprivation, and then the positive sides of that are also realizing that we don't need a lot of the negative things that we thought we needed, and also we're like reflecting on who we actually are and what we actually are about, and without this distraction.
Well, whoever told you that is really smart.
I mean, I did get it embroidered on a pillow, so.
No, you're right. It does feel like it does definitely feel like everyone's like in withdrawals, just like tweaking in their apartments, and
totally.
So I miss some things that I enjoyed doing, like hanging out with my friends. But there's a lot of obligatory social events that I do not miss trying to figure out how I can get out of, and then realizing that I can't get out of them.
Totally. Totally. I mean, there's definitely, we've talked about that. There's just definitely a lot of social anxiety in all of our lives. And so when you remove the social aspect, anxiety goes down.
It is good to give you perspective on like what is actually important to you and what you
totally
actually miss and what you don't miss at all.
Totally true. Yeah. Which is like rehab too. It's like you get to start over, you get to rebuild and bring back the stuff you want and let go of the stuff you don't want.
And my life goal was to go to rehab, and I never got to. So,
here we are.
Yeah.
May, I feel like you would love rehab.
May, you've simply got to go. Oh, May.
Love.
You would love it.
Rehab in the summer,
oh my god. The seltzer in rehab is crazy.
Oh my god.
Every flavor.
Don't even get me started. I know.
The towels everywhere. So many towels.
The feelings, everyone having feelings, it's amazing.
Just talking about their feelings and like it's summer camp. It just seems like summer camp for adults.
For like-minded adults, yes.
Like-minded adults.
Like summer camp for sure.
For troubled teens like us, yes.
If I ever sell a screenplay or get famous, the first thing I'm going to do is check myself into treatment for whatever the one that celebs go to that isn't for like drugs and alcohol.
I love how we
Betty
started.
Ford?
Jasmine, before you got on, we started by being like, "Oh, crazy in bed." It's such a. I don't tell any romantic interest to look me up halfway through the interview. May's like, I can't wait to go to read.
It is a problem. I do think about how much of the nonsense I spew on podcasts is like, I really hope that no one who likes me listens to the podcast.
But once someone likes you, they can't get enough of you. If they're going to find your podcast, it's because they can't get enough of your sweet voice and they just want to hear you all the time.
That's what it is. And they won't care what I say.
Yes.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Yeah, I hope so. I give a fake name for the first year of a relationship.
I didn't know May's name till last year.
Check out my podcast, Totally Stable, out in the world.
I go through the motions. I create a whole fake podcast to record episodes where I'm like, you know what I did today?
I also started a podcast in bed, so I relate.
You did.
She's the original bed podcast.
Now, we're not usually in bed. I'm just under the weather, so I'm in bed. But yours was always in bed, and I was thinking about this the other day. Did you wake us up in the middle of the night?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my! Did you ever get anyone to like get mad at you, or was it ever hard to wake someone up?
Bronwyn Isaac was really hard to wake up. I thought she was dead.
Imagine, that's like, what a twist.
Our friend, she's fine.
Bronwyn.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine?
That's how you discovered your friend.
Oh my God, she was like, I think I had to physically shake her, like not even just like a tap. Like I think I really had to go for it because I remember being like,
wow.
It was creepy how I did it because the premise of my podcast for anyone that doesn't know is that
we should explain it. Yeah,
I would go to people's houses and we would all go to bed and I usually sleep on the couch and then wake up at like 3 a.m. and go into their rooms and lay in their bed in the dark and interview them. And who's calling?
My aunt, but it's okay. I'll call her after.
It's Rehab. They're ready for me.
Gotta go.
They've got a spot open.
They're at the door. Yeah, they're just waiting with a gurney. Just grab me in.
You prefer the optional gurney?
I requested them send me a gurney. Yeah. I'm ready for the gurney.
Yeah.
It's your version of a limo. It's just
Probably,
like, ooh.
Truly, finally, I bring my own like handcuffs. I'm just like, I'm ready. That's my idea.
You'd be the queen of rehab.
What?
You'd be the queen of rehab because you're already sober. So you already won.
That's
you could spread the good word.
True.
That's why I want finally something I'm good at, that I'm better than everyone else. Like, I've been doing this longer than all of you. Why are you here?
Yeah, you're like a super jacked guy at the gym. You're already done.
Yeah. Here.
Thank you. Anyway, Jasmine, you were saying your podcast.
Yeah. I woke people up in the middle of the night and crawled into bed with them and interviewed them. And I don't remember what the question. Oh, did anyone get mad?
No, that was it. I
definitely felt creepy waking up Bronwyn because I was standing there like in the dark whispering her name, which just felt like really creepy. Sorry, hold on. My cat just did something terrible.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
Wait, May, did you not go to rehab out of choice, or was it like a financial thing, or was it a decision of like, I'd rather try to do this on my own?
All of the above. I Googled it. I found out it was very expensive. I didn't have health insurance. And I was like, very typical May, just like, I got this. I can do this by myself. And I did, but it wasn't fun and it wasn't cute. And I didn't get to have any snacks or seltzer
and you deserve that.
Thank you so much. It was it was really hard. Honestly, it kind of reminded me a little of quarantine, just the beginning of getting sober. I remember just being in my room and thinking like, if I leave my room, I will die. Like I will drink. And so I have to stay in.
That's a lot of
I've read though that it is crazy expensive. It's like $5,000 a month or something. Honestly, a drug habit is cheaper. It might be the financial choice.
Yeah.
For everyone listening, a drug habit's cheaper than rehab. Don't
Now everybody, as a podcast, I have to say, we are anti-addiction.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Anti-virus.
Don't worry, I'm covering our legal bases.
Yeah, Alyssa's the press secretary of this podcast.
Imagine how dark it would be if it's probably like this already, but the press secretary phoned in sick from bed with this weird angle. America, don't worry, I have some updates. Like, oh my God, she looks so sick. No, everything's fine, just don't touch your face. What else?
I think we're moving in that direction though, with like professional Zoom calls. Totally. It's like they started, everyone put on a suit jacket and like sits up, and now people are sort of creeping closer to their beds and their couches. And
I've been in my bed.
Gonna be just like on our couch, like on our beds.
Now, Jasmine, maybe you can talk as much as you want or as little as you want, but I've loved having Zoom meetings on like at home. I feel that I've had the best meetings there because they're super casual and we're both just like chatting like real humans. Do you find that work has like how was it working from home? And you don't have to tell specifics about, or just whatever.
It had its ups and downs. It was good because it was much more concise. Like when we have tables at work, sometimes we're sitting there for a very long time, but there's nothing else coming up. So we're like, I guess we'll just sit here a little bit longer and see if anyone says anything funnier, and we don't, or we do. Like, there's less of that like extra lag time of like, all right, well, I guess, and more just like, okay, cool, we got it, thank you guys, and then back to your life. But I like the energy of being in the room, especially for like pitch calls and stuff. It's more fun to play off of each other and to come up with stuff when we have each other actually there. But it's less pressure if there's like 20 people on the screen, and if I just sit really still, I'm like, probably no one's looking at me at this moment.
No, totally. Yeah, it's like short term there are definite benefits, but yeah, I mean long term it's tough to be creative obviously without being in the same room as people.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job though, and like I just feel adapting to this new world of everything.
I have been told that I'm better adjusted than everyone else, which I don't think is a good thing. I'm pretty sure it's really bad that I feel much more comfortable not going anywhere or doing anything. I already knew that about myself, and it's getting scary that I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever go back out. This could
it is becoming like that. It's like almost too comfortable. You're like, I really kind of like part of this, and it's gonna be weird when everyone's like, all right, now you have to leave, and you're like, man, no, this is it, right?
I mean, I've been very lucky in quarantine. Like we talked about, my living situation's really good. I'm obsessed with my apartment. I have a patio, so I have like outdoor space where I don't have to like go be outside.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Key.
And I had a job for most of the beginning of it, so it's like now it's summer, so I don't have as much to be working on. But overall, I've got a pretty good situation, so I'm trying to just like stay zen about it and remember that like I'm staying inside for a reason, to help protect people, and if I'm reducing the risk of someone getting sick or dying at all, then it's okay. But I also am going completely insane for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
It is interesting how like people who deal with mental health stuff are probably better prepared for this. It's kind of a weird counterintuitive thought. Yeah. But you're right.
If you already go through a lot of stress and anxiety, I was thinking about that because I was like, everyone I know has off the charts anxiety and depression issues. Everyone I'm friends with, at least.
Same.
I don't like know a lot of normal, stable people. I'm in this industry, so I was wondering that, like, how people that are fine all the time are adjusting to the increased anxiety. But when you already have this anxiety, it's just like new anxiety,
new place where it goes or something.
Yeah, and at least there's like a purpose now. Like we're staying inside for a reason, or we're
totally.
So it's nice to have.
I'm going to be using that for the rest of my life. I mean, we're going to be 80 and I'm going to go, just in case, I'm staying in for the public health. Yeah.
I don't want to spread more corona. They're like, we already cured corona. It's completely gone and impossible for it to come back. I don't want to spread it. You never know.
I just love old people. I can't go to your party. They're like, that was 12 years ago. I'm like, I don't know. We don't know for sure. I mean, we can't be totally sure. I got to save grandma.
So sorry. So yes, Jasmine, before we have to lose you, we wanted to ask if there's like, and we're kind of talking about it now with the quarantine, like some benefits of a bad thing, but we were wondering if there was something in your life that was like a lemon, like just a really bad thing that ended up turning into something, or that you made something good out of it, or you learned something from it.
I mean, I have lots of things. I have a real lemon. Do you want me to get the lemon?
Yeah.
Let's watch you make lemonade. We are now a Martha Stewart style.
I could make lemonade. I have a little citrus juicer.
Perfect.
Sitting in my home behind me.
I mean,
wow.
Oh, there we go. The first lemon.
If you're listening and not watching on YouTube, get on YouTube, because she has got a beautiful lemon.
I know.
Lemon I've ever
seen. Juicy yellow lemon. I mean, it's a little green on this side, so we're going to let her live a little bit longer.
Okay, let's give her some time before we make lemonade out of her.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I mean, how big are you talking? Because I've got some little stuff, but I got some bigger stuff too.
Let's go big.
Why don't we do one? Yeah, let's go big, and then you can do one little.
And we can do a little 110.
I do think I basically used probably the most abusive relationship I've ever been in, and transformed it into an entire career in comedy.
Yeah!
Wow.
That was what I thought of when we were like thinking about this theme.
Yeah, when you first said this to me, I was like, I don't know, everything's been fine. And then I was like, wait, no, horrible things have happened to me.
I mean, that's when I first knew you. I remember you were going through this horrible breakup, and you were one of the original people to like create content, to use Instagram to like really be honest about what you were going through in a way that was like also really funny.
Yeah, I don't know if I was the first, but I did.
You were the first.
Like a beginning of a wave. I think there were other women.
Well, you're the only one that I know, so the others don't count.
Yeah, it was when I met both of you, and actually kind of how I met you, I think, through this terrible guy, and he was treating me really badly, treating another woman really badly, who I'm very close friends with now, thank God. And it was just the most emotionally abusive situation I've ever been in, and I could not like get my bear, like I could not understand which way was up. You know how they say if you like get trapped in an avalanche and you're under the snow and you can't tell which way gravity is, you're supposed to like dig a hole and spit? Did you know that?
No.
You're supposed to dig a hole in front of you and spit so you can see which way gravity is going, because if you get too tossed up in the snow. That's how I felt, like I was trapped in this avalanche and I could not figure out.
That feels like a lot of math to me. I don't want to have to deal with physics when I'm trying to survive.
Alyssa, if the spit goes down, that's the direction that's down.
Too much to remember.
Sheer panic. What am I doing? I'm spitting on myself? How do I get out of this snow hell?
She just keeps spitting and it keeps coming back down in her face, and she's like, why isn't it working?
She's just like, I hate science. God damn.
Yeah, I was never good at science.
That is stupid.
I'll just scream till I run out of air.
Thank God I can project.
Anyway, I just saved you from an avalanche.
Yeah,
just
thank you.
FYI when you're in one. But it felt like that I didn't understand which way was like reality, and he had messed with my mind so much that I felt like I was starting to write for Reductress at the time too, or I had been for like a year or something, and I was just trying to figure out what my own thoughts and feelings were, and I didn't have any idea. I didn't even know I was in an abusive relationship at the time that it was happening. And so the more I was trying to cope, the more I got mad, and when I get mad, I write really good jokes. So
I mean, you were writing not only good jokes, but
fire.
I remember you would have like a viral Reductress article like every week. Like did really you tell me that you would submit, like, I always love that about you, like you're such a hard worker. Didn't you say you used to submit like the max amount every week or something?
I did 10 a week, yeah.
Cool.
I started submitting more than that, but then I realized that it didn't up my chances of getting more on, so then I started just doing 10 strategically.
Wow.
But yeah, I pitched every week for a while before I actually worked there. And some of it was mostly self-serving. I just like would get a bunch of likes and was like, oh my God, something I'm good at. And I can be mean to boys and I can write it down, and then girls love me. It's just like a perfect.
Girls did love you. It's true. You were like speaking a lot of women's truths. Yeah.
Well, and I hadn't had that like connection with women before. And I think that it started helping me because I was posting stuff on Twitter, and I'd have people that I didn't talk to for like years message me and be like, oh my God, I'm going through the same thing, or I've been through that too. It's so good to like hear people talking about it. And that kind of stuff really motivated me to like get more connected with women and to keep like writing stuff. And then I would just get really pissed off every once in a while and keep writing stuff, and it worked. And here we are. That's literally the trajectory of my career. I just kept getting mad about that.
Wow.
Love it. Powered by pure spite, and like you fucking blossomed. It was so fun to watch.
It was like a good way to discover my voice and stuff. I usually tell when young people ask me like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just like, write what you're feeling, write about the things you feel strongest about, good or bad is usually the best stuff.
Totally.
It's not that easy, but it was my only way of coping at the time.
Yeah, I mean, there are other ways to cope that are not healthy and productive. And it was cool that you were able to turn that.
I will also say another lemon out of that is I really do think that I met you guys because of him for the most part. And I think I had Alyssa on my podcast right before I ended things with him, and I had May on right after. So I do remember, I think you guys were in a row immediately when it was happening. So it was like nice to bond with each of you during that time. And we became friends. So that's 2 lemons.
Oh,
I love that.
wow.
That's lemonade.
See what my piece of shit gender did for you guys?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to personally thank Anosh on behalf of all men.
Of course, a man's behind it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
You're so welcome.
Take responsibility for him.
For all your joy.
I loved it so much because first of all, a lot of women can relate to dating shitty guys and being gaslit and feeling crazy. And sometimes it turns us against each other because we get pulled into the same web by the same shitty guys, and then we're like competing and the way you handled it was like you became friends with the other women that had experienced what you had, and then you all sort of like lifted each other up, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
totally.
We do have like a secret underground kind of like whisper. Sometimes I'll just be at shows and be like, hey, I know we haven't met before, but you dated him too, right? And yeah, we need to talk about it later. And it like like a thing. And it's good because we've warned each other, and I think we've helped each other through a lot of it. And like I spoke out about him, and it caused someone else to speak out about him. And then we realized that there were like a bunch of, he's just been doing this to a ton of people. And he uses women against each other in ways that we don't even know about. Like I think Alyssa, he actually was trying really hard to make me jealous of you and would talk about you a lot. And it was really weird. Like
especially because I had a boyfriend.
I know, it was really fucked up and weird. And it was just like, I remember at the time, like I did get really jealous of you, which makes sense because you're beautiful and very talented. But
oh my God.
I remember being like, I don't know why I feel so like crazy when he talks about her. And I realized that it was like all of these things that he had been just like saying that were not direct or mean or, anything, but just like getting under my skin.
Totally.
And it's part of the reason that I wanted you on my podcast is because I was like, I don't like feeling this way because I think she's great and I don't feel this way about her.
And it's like totally because it's like no basis in reality. Yeah. I fully had a boyfriend. I just remember being like friends with him in the scene.
Yeah, and
wild.
He'd be like really nice to you, but then it felt to me behind the scenes like manipulative, and I couldn't prove it because he was crazy, and it was just like, it was just really, really difficult time for me in figuring things out. And I think that so many people go through this. A lot of people are in emotionally abusive relationships to like completely different degrees. But the thing that we don't talk about publicly a lot, I think, or at least not until the last few years, is that all of these things are like abuse is often pattern. It's almost always patterns. It's like small things, it's big things, but they all imitate each other. Most abusers have similar patterns that, happen differently. And
totally.
And so I think talking about it really helped me figure it out, and also helped me like learn about other people and know when to watch the warning signs for my friends and things like that. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting in an abusive relationship, but it did turn into some lemonade overall.
Yeah,
totally. May and I were talking about that, how like we don't like saying like, everything happens for a reason. It's like, no, you would have rather not been in that relationship, and I trust you would have still gotten to where you are today. But it's more like, if a bad thing happens, like does it push you to do something else? Yeah.
Well, I do think also, I was thinking about this on a grand level. I think all of comedy is us taking the worst parts of our lives and making
definitely
it funny, right? Like that's all any of us do, like takes our worst most of my worst qualities are what make me a good comedian. Like I'm
totally
way too harsh, I'm way too loud, I am too observant, I bother people all the time. And it really works in comedy. It makes people like me less in person, but
it's true. Like I've alienated everyone in my entire family, but like I got some, good content.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth it.
Okay, can you give us a one silly small lemon? before we go? And May, are you good on time? I know you have to get Tilly to.
Yeah, we could wrap things up, but it's not too urgent. She's got plans. She's actually not following the quarantine rules. She's meeting up with her friends. They're all gonna swap saliva. Yeah,
that's so inconsiderate.
No, I have a really good relationship with Tilly's groomer, and she like hooked me up with a grooming window. Like she's gonna groom Tilly, which is good because her nails are overgrown and other dog care things that I don't need to get into.
Her butt.
Yeah, expressing the anal glands.
Get into it, guys. So basically, the way that works with a dog's butt. Anyway, yeah. But we have time for one more little lemon.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one, but when I get put on the spot for things, I get very nervous and then my brain won't tell me what they are. I made literal lime juice. I made fresh margaritas out of limes that came from an order that the guy who I ordered from also screamed at me and yelled at me on the phone and kept emailing me and telling me that I was crazy and wouldn't leave me alone.
And that turned into margaritas. So who's crazy really now?
I hope you got drunk and called him back and screamed at him and called him crazy.
I blocked him. It was the worst customer service situation I've ever had.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. What a bummer. I mean, this quarantine definitely brings out the best and the worst in people. I feel like we're seeing.
But I looked at other comments and it seems like he's had this problem before. It was like right at the beginning. It had happened before. So.
Got it.
I don't know, but I had really good margaritas. So.
Girl, you did it.
Joke's on him.
Joke's on him.
I get to go to rehab now.
That's true. Margaritas are a step towards rehab. That's making lemonade out of lemons.
Okay, perfect.
Well, is there anything that you would like to plug? Where can our listeners and viewers find you?
I am just my name on all the socials, Jasmine.
Oh, that's
Pierce.
nice.
Jasmine
it was a battle, but I got there. It took years.
Follow her and go back to her content like circa 2015, 2016 and like get inspired.
Yeah, go read my Reductress articles. That's when I was the most mad.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Reductress article, like one that you are most proud of?
The one that I like the most that also everyone else responds to most is how to wrap your pussy in tin foil since apparently no one's eating it or whatever it was.
Oh, I'm going to go read that right now. Amazing. That's so funny.
True. It's funny to me because it's never been not relatable to me.
It's evergreen.
Years and years.
It fits so well into this climate too.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
true.
It has resurfaced. People find it and it resurfaces, and this is one of the times it has been resurfacing.
Oh, this is great. My vagina's been in a Tupperware for the last decade, so
it's iconic. Yeah. Jasmine, we love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. I miss you.
I miss you so much, and I'm sure I'll see you on the FaceTime.
And wait till this is over and you guys move back to New York. Okay, bye.
Thanks for coming on. We love you and miss you. Say hi to Taryn for us.
I will.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, she was wonderful, and thanks to our unofficial sponsor, Koya.